Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. Man, the finals last night. Everybody going crazy and stuff, talking about the game and everything, telling me, Jimmy Butler and everything, how he balled out. And he did. Jimmy Butler from the beginning was aggressive. And that's the Jimmy Butler we want to see. That's the superstar that we wanted to see in game 3. He played a great game as far as just still being tough. And he didn't make an excuse. And this is the problem I have with Lebrownies. Lebrownies makes excuses all the time. Even when Kobe was losing or winning, he never made an excuse. He went out there to play. He had to actually tell people, look, man, I'm finna get a trade out of here because y'all wasted my prime years, which they were. And when they made that trade at the trade deadline for Pau Gasol, that catapulted them to the championship. But Kobe never was trying to take over everything all the time. He learned how to do less. And that's what Jimmy Butler does. Jimmy Butler plays with that mentality, that same mentality of an underdog, of a guy who wants to play, wants to win. But the game was, to me, Lebrownies was trying to go for the MVP. He really wasn't giving the ball to AD a lot. And it's like, come on. Rajon Rondo had another good performance, even though he didn't have a big point game. His rebounding, his assist, his help defense was very good in the game. Markieff Morris came off the bench, gave you 19. Kuzma gave you 19. Kuzma and Markieff just were killing off the bench. The Lakers had enough to win this game. Anthony Davis, he needs more touches. You have got to give him the ball. Even when he's not scoring, he has to touch the ball. Lebrownies showed selfishness last night. And I don't want to hear all you Lebrownie fans come and defend him. He was selfish. He needs to give the ball up. You are not the best player on the team. You are the second best. You are a Robin. Play your role. Play the number 2. That's why Pippen was so successful with Mike, because he knew he was the number 2. You're the number 2 to AD. You have to give him the ball and let him operate. When you take the ball and then you want to do your little, I'm going to get the pick and roll, I'm going to run this guy over with that shoulder, you weren't getting away with it last night. They basically weren't giving you the fouls last night, which was surprising because you guys had 29 attempts and the Heat had 23. They had to keep you guys in the game. And that's what I've been trying to tell you. This is further proof of the first 2 games in the whole season and the whole playoffs. The league has been carrying these guys. They've been carrying them. They looked terrible. 19 turnovers, which I believe Lebrownies had 6 or 8. Lebrownies is not a great ball handler. If you match him up, see, what I like was Butler took the challenge and said, you know what, I'm going to take Lebrownie. Every time he tried to do that pick and roll, Butler went under it to get to the point, because Lebrownies is a set shooter. He's not going to just step up and then shoot, because when he does that, he misses more than he makes. So Lebrownies was trying to get him in a pick and roll action and run him over. Butler wasn't having. He was ripping the ball out of his hands. He was throwing his elbow at him too. He was playing Lebrownies physical. And that's how you beat Lebrownies. You play him physical. You get in his grill. Make him pick his dribble up. Pick him up at half court. Carcino talked about this on his live last night. Shout out to Carcino for life. Go subscribe to his channel. He talked about this. He even said the same thing. You have to pick him up from half court. He is not that good of a dribbler. Rajon Rondo, when he was in the game, he kept the Lakers close and he had a chance to win the game because his floor general is, to me, the best on both teams. His floor general and how he controls the game. Whenever he retires, we're going to miss a good basketball player, great role player who plays his role. He's a little enforcer himself, and he's a leader. He doesn't take no crap. He tries to get everybody involved. Now, Lebrownies walked off the court. Everybody talking about that. Now people bringing up a Kobe Bryant picture where he walked off the court against Memphis. Look, man, Kobe Bryant never walked off the court in the finals. He went to congratulate the other team, whether win or loss, and he went to the locker room. Kobe Bryant's never deflected. He's never blamed anybody, even when he asked for a trade from the Lakers to the Bulls, and he was about to go to the Bulls, but they would have had to trade all their pieces from the Bulls to get him over there. And it was similar to the Carmelo and New York Knicks thing with the Nuggets and Knicks, where the Nuggets got a whole bunch of pieces where that's helped them today while the Knicks just got Melo and it's kind of hurt them in the long run. So to me, I don't blame, to me, Lebrownies has to understand. You called yourself the GOAT. You called yourself the greatest of all time. And you haven't played like it this season. You haven't. I know all your fans are going to say, well, he's been balling, he's been putting up 33, 9, and 9. Okay, he put up 33, 9, and 9, but when did he put his points up? He puts a lot of his points up in certain positions. When he's up and front running, he's padding his stats. He tries to get a layup. He makes a pass here to the lane so he can get an assist. Rebound, and he gets the defensive rebound. He actually averages a lot of defensive rebounds. He only averages maybe 1 or 2 offensive rebounds a game. So his rebounds aren't impressive to me. They're not. They're terrible. Other teams aren't boxing out, and if they box out and he falls down, they call a foul. So every time he falls down, he gets a foul. And AD wasn't getting his calls, because they want LeBrownies to win the MVP. They don't want AD to win it. So they're going to do everything they can to help Lebrownies win this series and win the MVP. So AD's not really going to get any more shots after this. And if he does, then they win. But Lebrownies wants it. Even at the end, going into halftime, Anthony Davis tried to give him dap, and he just walked past Anthony Davis. Like, he was like, man, don't give me dap or anything. Just a sore loser. You have to keep your composure. You're supposed to be the greatest everybody says you are. You have to show that you're a leader. And that's been his problem for years. He's had this same body language. Rajon Rondo even talked about it, that he had to tell him, guys are looking up to you. You're their Jordan. You can't be having bad body language. And I think he was kind of mad about that when Rondo said it. Seriously, LeBrownies is the same as Scottie Simpson. They're both the same player mentally. They both are they're sensitive, but they're petty. They're real petty and everything. They're like, okay, I'm gonna get him back another way. They'll take you. They'll say something bad about you, try to spread it. Or what LeBrownies does is he try to get rid of you and send your butt to Montego Bay somewhere where you don't know where that team at. So, but the game showed me that intangible wise, the Heat are a tougher team. The Lakers are a front-running team. If they don't have a big lead or they don't have a free throw lead, which they've been getting, they're not going to win because they don't know how to play from behind. They're not mentally built like that. LeBrownies is very weak, but as far as talent, the Lakers have the talented team. They should have won this one. Dwight Howard only gave you 3 rebounds. That's unacceptable. Dwight Howard has got to give you between 8 to 10, maybe 11 rebounds. Anthony Davis has to give you between 20 to 25, maybe 30 points. They have to give him the ball more. They weren't giving him the ball enough. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's going to come back to earth. Him and Green going to come back to earth. Caruso had 8, but they were a meaningless 8. He basically got that in transition. Markieff Morris stepped up for you, so did Kuzma. Them two stepped up off the bench for you. So, the Lakers got to win that game. You had 2 guys giving you 19 off the bench. And then you got Rondo giving you 8 rebounds, Markieff giving you 6. And, so that's how it was supposed to be. They got to play better than that. And plus, the Lakers from the field, they were 43%. And they shot 42 3-pointers and only made 14. They were 33%. Now, the Heat were no better. The Heat, you can't shoot that many damn threes. The Heat have to learn, if the 3-point shot isn't going, it's okay. Go to the basket. Get some easy buckets. I like how Jimmy was playing in the post. He was doing his fadeaway. His footwork is impeccable. And how he was moving, how he was getting his fadeaway off, how he was going up and under, how he was attacking the basket, getting layups. Jimmy played a smart game tonight, but everybody else has got to be on that same page. You can't be shooting all these threes and you're going 35%. Now, free throws, the Lakers attempted more. Last game, I believe the Heat attempted more, but the Lakers were getting foul calls in certain spots of the game that helped them close the game, because they wouldn't have been able to close it without some foul calls in the fourth. So 29 attempts and 22 makes for the Lakers, 23 attempts for the Heat, and 21 made. The Heat are basically 91% from the free throw. They're 76%. Total rebounds is 37-43. Lakers won that, and they had 11 offensive rebounds compared to the Heat 3. The assists, they were only 2 apart. The Heat was 25 and the Lakers 23. Blocks was about the same. Heat had 1 more than the Lakers, 3-2. Steals, they were even with 8. Turnovers, this would kill the Lakers. They had 19 turnovers compared to the Heat 12. Points in the paint, the Heat dominated. Jimmy Butler was attacking the hole. Myers Leonard was attacking, and so was Olenek. So was Jay Crowder. So they had 52 points in the paint to 34 for the Lakers. That's all they have to do. Just keep attacking the paint. Personal fouls, the Heat had 23 compared to the Lakers 22. Now for the Heat, Jimmy. Triple-double. Now, guys, this is what a triple-double means. You see how he had 40, 13, 11. This goes out to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, let me talk to you for a minute, my brother. I've been a fan of yours since Mississippi State, but this is the difference between having real calories compared to empty. 40, 13, and 11. Butler had 40, 13, and 11, and he carried this team and he won the game. Jay Crowder dropped 12 and 8, which he got 8 rebounds. He did what I asked him to do. You got to at least get between 6 to 8 rebounds. You got to. And I told him you got to get between 9 to 12 points. He got 12. Myers Leonard, he only got 1 rebound. That's unacceptable. He only played 13, but if you're playing 13 minutes, I need you to get at least 5, 6 boards, man. You got to box out more. And also, it was some BS fouls they were calling on. Dwight was trying to do his fouling impersonation and his victim role, and Lebrownies got fouled, I believe. It wasn't really a foul, but they called it Lebrownies fell. Duncan Robinson hit some big threes in the game early. And he hit a couple down late, 13 points to his 5 rebounds. If he gets 5 rebounds, Duncan Robinson, that's a plus. He had 3 assists. Tyler Hero hit some big shots at the end, Duncan hit the shots early on. Hero closed it out with Jimmy at the end with 17 points, 2 assists, 3 boards. Olenek had 17 points and 7 rebounds. I need Olenek to get between 9 and 11 rebounds a game. If he can do that next game, they could win. I'm not worried about the assists with him. Kendrick Nunn, even though he had 4, 2, and 1, he played good defense and he was able to attack and get the ball to certain players. He did a good job seeing the floor. Andre Iguodala still being the savvy veteran, even though his numbers is 1, 3, and 2. He still played with heart, grit, and leadership. Andre had a leadership moment, talking to guys on the court, telling them this is what we need to do, and they got it done. Iggy did his thing. So Iggy did his thing, being that leader that they need. Solomon Hill's just in there for a little bit. I don't like him. I don't think he's that good. I just think he was extra body. So now, If this team get Bam back next game, I believe they could tie the series up. And here's how. They have to figure out a way to, when Bam gets there, continue putting Jimmy on LeBron. Let Jimmy guard Lebrownies. Now, next game, they're going to try to foul Jimmy out if Bam's in there, because they want the Lakers to win. The Lakers showed that they cannot win without a lead. If they have a lead, then they could win a free throw lead. But if they're not getting their free throws, even though they had more free throws, it's when the free throws are being called. The Miami Heat should have pulled away twice this game. I believe in the first quarter they could have pulled away. Then they start calling fouls to put Lebrownies on the line, and he was going 1 for 2, 1 for 2. And then the second quarter, I believe they called some bogus calls, and they start hitting. AD got some calls, so. To me, the Heat really struggle when they're behind. And not only that, Rajon Rondo, when he's running the point, see, this is the problem. Lebrownies cannot run the point. He is a terrible ball handler. Now, he can pass, but his pass is mostly, I'm trying to get an assist, so that'll boost up my stats. Whereas he doesn't make the pass that's making his teammate better. If you understand what I'm saying, he doesn't make the pass that makes his teammate better. He just makes the pass where it's like, oh, I got an assist. Yeah. The walk off of the court and stuff, I don't care. Like, who cares? He's a sore loser. He's always been that way. He's been like that since the first time he was in Cleveland. So I don't expect that. So all of that, man, I really don't I really don't care about all that. To me, he's always been a sore loser. He's an overglorified loser. He's a front runner. If things ain't going his way, he's going to cry like a little itch. That's just how he is, dog. He's always been like that. And I get tired of his fans always coming to defend him and saying, oh, he had 25 and 10. Like, okay, but he leads the NBA in most turnovers in history. That's a guy you want to say is the best player of all time? Come on, stop it. This guy here always makes an excuse. He always finds something to say happened. Then he froze AD out from getting the ball, which was ludicrous. It's like, come on, dog. Now you're trying to steal the MVP votes from AD. So now you're trying to play for an MVP. Come on, dog. Stop it. Stop it. Dog, this guy, when he retires, man, I'm throwing a big party. I'm so sick and tired of watching him. In the game, his game is so terrible. He went to the bench a few times because he just looked like he was tired. He was done because he mentally was drained because Butler was banging him the whole night. So to me, he doesn't show that killer instinct. And that's what we mean by killer instinct, Shannon. This team should have been swept. Now, the Lakers going to win in 5. They're not letting the Lakers go down and make it 2-2. Because if it goes 2-2, the Lakers are in trouble. It's just facts. They're in trouble. But they're not gonna let the series go down. The refs are gonna help them. They're gonna help them win. But this just shows you he's not as great as you guys think he is. He's not a closer. He's not a leader. He's not a guy who could pull you back in and say, look, man, we got to do this. Come on, we need to play better. So, he showed his true colors last night. And I think a lot of people saw it because I think a lot of people are really touched by it and upset about it. But, man, it is what it is, man. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the Heat? Do you think Heat are gonna come back and win the series in 7, or you think they can win it? You think they could come back and win it in 6? Let me know in the comment section. The game last night, I give it a C plus, maybe a B minus. It was an okay game. But Jimmy Butler, man, he balled out. He did his job. He did what he was supposed to do as a leader. He put the team on his back. And that's the Jimmy I want to see. Jimmy has to score 30 to 40 this series. He has to if they want to win. It's no ifs, and a buts. If you want to win, you have to do that. You have to be the superstar. You want to be a number one, you got to prove you're number one, man. You can't flame out when you get to this point of playoffs. You got to play tougher. Now, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming videos. And if you want to donate to the page, cash at me at welcome to HDTV. That's the word welcome, the number 2, HDIITV. And hey, thank you for listening. And I'm out. Lie boy.